Thomas had been driving for hours, the highway stretching endlessly before him under the pale glow of a full moon. The job interview earlier in the day had gone well, and he was feeling a rare mixture of hope and exhaustion. He wanted nothing more than to get home, climb into bed, and leave the day behind. The clock on the dashboard read 11:57 p.m. when it happened. A blur of a movement from the side of the road caught his eye. Before he could react, a deer bolted into his path. Thomas slammed on the brakes, but it was too late. The impact jolted the car, the sickening thud echoing through the quiet nights. His heart raced as he pulled the car to the side of the road, adrenaline and dread battling for dominance. He grabbed his flashlight from the glove compartment and stepped out into the chilly night air. The scene was eerily silent, save for the occasional rustle of leaves and a faint breeze. Deer lay a few feet from the car. Thomas swallowed hard, guilt glowing at him as he crouched down to examine the creature. Its eyes were wide with fear, but it didn't struggle. "Poor thing," he murmured. "I'm so sorry." A sound behind him snapped him to attention. A rustling in the bushes. He froze, the flashlight beam trembling in his hand. At first he thought it might be another animal, perhaps another deer, startled by the commotion. But the rustling grew louder, more deliberate. "Hello," he called out, his voice quivering. The bushes exploded with movement and a shadow emerged, a hulking figure, impossibly tall and wrong. Thomas' brain struggled to make sense of what he was seeing. The creature's body was humanoid but stretched, its limbs unnaturally long and ending in sharp claw-like appendages. Its eyes glowed faintly, reflecting the moonlight, and his face, if you could call it a face, was amorphous, void of shifting features. Thomas struggled backward, his flashlight dropping to the ground and pummeling the world into near darkness. The creature let out a guttural, bone-chilling growl and began to advance. Panic set in and Thomas scrambled to his feet, bolting towards the car, the deer forgotten. He threw himself into the driver's seat and slammed the door. Just as the creature reached him, it lunged at the vehicle, claws scratching against the metal and glass. The car shook under the assault as Thomas fumbled to start the engine. Come on and start, motherfucker," he muttered, hands trembling as he turned the key. The engine roared to life, and without thinking, Thomas floored the gas pedal. The tires screeched as the car shot forward, throwing the creature off balance. In the rearview mirror, he could see it standing in the middle of the road, watching him with unblinking eyes. Then it turned and disappeared back into the woods, swallowed by the night. Thomas didn't stop driving until he reached the safety of his driveway, heart pounding and sweat drenching his clothes. He sat there for a long moment, staring at his trembling hands gripping the steering wheel. That night he didn't sleep. The image of the creature was burned into his mind, and every rustling branch or tree outside the window sent chills up his spine. He never took that highway again, and whenever he told the story, if he dared, it was always met with disbelief. But Thomas knew what he had seen, and he would never forget the glowing eyes in the darkness. And that night haunts him, and it will haunt him for the rest of his days.